Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor. I was just dealing with my 12-year-old wanting to take me to get lunch, but my 19-year-old bailed me out. I've actually got someone with some wheels. He can go and run errands, and I don't make him run them enough for me. But this kid, went to the grocery store yesterday, and the kid still wants to get lunch out somewhere. I told him there's all this food in the refrigerator. But he always is after getting something much better. Okay, so in DAIXRP.com, the Patreon, or if you'd rather join through YouTube, click the join button right below any of my videos. Talking about two things today. Some Apex started today behind the scenes. And I'm going to remind everybody, there's an XRP holder airdrop that's coming in hot soon. We're going to talk about that too. Okay, wanted to show you this. I saw this come across. $4.6 billion stolen. BitGet's new report reveals how AI-powered scams are reshaping crypto risks, deep fakes for impersonation, sophisticated phishing campaigns, Telegram trading bot exploits. 2024 losses are up 37% year on year, driven by AI automation and social engineering. This isn't just a tech issue, it's an investor protection crisis. I got tired of dealing with all of that. That's why I've gotten with Caleb and Brown, and I have another institutional custody place that I also have some of my stuff. I'm going to tell you about that here soon. But at Caleb and Brown, you get the institutional custody. When you have institutional custody and cold storage that way, you've got extra layers of protection. And I'm tired of, right now I'm not interested in any of the fancy products. I'm not interested in earning yield on XRP yet and all that stuff. My first priority is to have my stuff where I can sleep good at night, and that's what I'm doing. You can go to xrpwealth589.com if you wanted to. It'll take you right to my page on Caleb and Brown. You just click the sign up today. If you're sick of not sleeping well, worried about your XRP or other digital assets. Okay, market's kind of boring right this second, but this isn't. This was a LinkedIn post by the CEO of Uphold. Recent news is true. Given the strong momentum in our business and change in sentiment towards blockchain tech at the government policy level, we've appointed investment bank financial technology partners, FT partners, to evaluate strategic liquidity options for us, including a potential U.S. IPO or a strategic sale to another company, such as leading banks, brokers, payment firms, and other financial institutions. Payment firms, maybe Ripple will want to look at Uphold. We're on track to deliver more than $300 million in revenue this year, compared with $80 million in 2022, propelled by strong enterprise adoption, consumer growth, and exceptionally strong U.S. customer base. We remain the world's only fully transparent reserve, which publishes its assets and liabilities every 30 seconds. What matters most to us, whatever course we ultimately choose, our mission remains unchanged: to bridge traditional finance and on-chain money, broaden access to digital assets, and innovate responsibly for customers and partners worldwide. I'm an Uphold shareholder myself, but even if you're not a private equity shareholder of any kind, this means a lot for all of us, because that's what's about to ramp up. You're about to see the ramp up of IPOs, mergers, acquisitions around crypto, and that's going to come with a ramp up in altcoin season, Bitcoin going up, all of it. This is the big one, folks. This is our time. We've been waiting all these years. 60% of Fortune 500 companies have adopted blockchain initiatives, according to a new Coinbase survey. You can see the dominoes falling. And this is an interesting clip from CoinDesk. The stablecoin Hunger Games. Here's what's coming. I got my money on Ripple and RLUSD.
And I'm working on an article right now. I'm calling it the stablecoin Hunger Games, because people are going to try to take other people's stablecoins, dump them, and issue their own. Right? Why? Because you want to capture that interest. Over time, you're going to see the profitability of these businesses get squeezed near zero, because maybe the end user doesn't get that interest, but they're going to pay distribution agents and everyone else to try to get their stablecoin out. In the end, you're going to have a couple of stablecoins. I don't know if it's going to be 2 or 3 or 4, but it's not going to be this massive number, because the margin's going to get squeezed, and it's going to be a business of scale. And so right now the question is can these early incumbents like the Tethers, the Circles, or whomever, can they move faster than these incumbents? Because the banks are coming, and I hope that we'll see how it plays out. But let's see if some of these startups can move faster and drive that utility and distribution. But that's generally how it's going to play out. It's pretty obvious to some of us who've been around for a while and made the best couple of projects win.
There's nobody better positioned for this than Ripple. Nobody, including Circle. Looks like the Bitcoin maxis are all starting to get it.
For example, let's pick the two that I don't remember whether it was Tillman or Andrew mentioned. So two of the coins that are on there are XRP and Solana. Mm-hmm. XRP and Solana and a bunch of others are vying to be the base layer to support new transaction modalities. Now, boy, does that sound geeky. But the fact is that the way exchanges work and the way money moves when it is right now, everything is centralized exchanges. Everything is done via proprietary systems. Both XRP more in payments and Solana more in trading are vying to be part of a newer globalized infrastructure. If those things take form, so if Solana broadens beyond memes to trading of everything, then it's going to be worth a shit ton more than it is today. The total addressable market for providing that as a base layer is significant. The same thing with XRP with regard to payments and SWIFT. And if XRP underlies the stable coins that are become, if basically not just RLUSD, but if Chase Coin and JP Morgan Coin all use the XRP ledger, then it will have value. If it doesn't, it won't. And so it really becomes a question of that word that I think it was Andrew that used, which is utility. If they have utility, they will be worth more. Elsewise on the screen, and of course you could mention Ether in the same thing in terms of tokenization. And so, that's a big, for example.
Yes, sir. I think they're getting it. Meanwhile, at MIT, folks, look, this is from the SEC. Oh, how far we've come. An innovation exemption could help fulfill President Trump's vision to make America the crypto capital of the planet by encouraging developers, entrepreneurs, and other firms willing to comply with certain conditions to innovate with on-chain technologies in the United States. And meanwhile, over at MIT, this is one of the courses that Gary Gensler is teaching, the guy that tried to kill crypto. Look at this. This is so insulting and what a sham. Begins with a review of technology's initial application, the cryptocurrency Bitcoin, and then it goes on. Focuses on current potential blockchain applications in the financial sector, includes reviews of potential use case for payment systems, central bank venture capital, secondary market trading, trade finance, commercial banking, post-trade possession, and digital ID. Also explores the markets and regulatory landscape of cryptocurrencies, ICOs, other tokens, crypto derivatives, open to undergraduates with permission of instructor. So you got to get Gary Gensler's permission for him to teach you about the industry that he tried to kill. What a piece of garbage. Now, you need to hear this, because this is what, all we've heard for the last 5 years is Bitcoin, Ethereum. These have the most market share, and they lied to you, and they said it's because these are the two that are the best, and that's why they've sucked up all the capital. I told you for 5 years, that's a lie. They didn't suck up the capital because of that. They sucked up the capital because all the bad guys tried to rig a monopoly for those two. And they failed with most of the thanks going to Ripple and the XRP army. Make no mistake. Ethgate was real, and Ethgate, what was accomplished through that, even for those that say, oh, it's dead or whatever, that's bullcrap. Ethgate killed. I mean, you think Ethereum's just sitting there reeling right now for no reason? You think Joseph Lubin barely comes up, pops his head out for no reason? It's because the truth of what was going on was exposed. And if it was not done, this is what people don't understand. Nobody was fighting the SEC before the XRP army did. It had never been done before. Once that happened, that is when all the other crypto companies, all of a sudden, once they realized they would be targeted too, they saw the model, then they started attacking the SEC. That then followed all of the crypto money going to the politicians to change the game, and that's what happened. And the XRP army is the ones that got the ball rolling and changed history, and that's the fact, Jack. Here, Brad Garlinghouse tells you he doesn't go about that. He doesn't go on about that, but he says, "No, you don't understand. This is XRP is a balloon that's been held underwater."
You look at what's happening around the ETFs, because again, the headwinds and tailwinds. Because we've had these headwinds, some aspects around XRP have been behind other L1s. That's now catching up. You're seeing inflows into existing ETFs. You're seeing more ETFs go live. You're seeing more talk about this new category we call the digital asset treasury, the kind of micro strategy spin-offs, if you will, not literally, but kind of similar things. I think it's just going to continue to create a lot of tailwinds where XRP has been held back. I'm optimistic that through the balance of the year and beyond, when you're artificially held back, I used the analogy one time publicly, like if you hold a balloon underwater long enough, of course it pops up when you let go of it. And so we saw that happen, I think, over the next 6 months. But now we're seeing a lot of the organic and in some case inorganic through Ripple's acquisitions, things pushing the industry, the community forward, the XRP ecosystem forward that I think should really have a positive impact.
Yeah, in other words, you're going to see the winner emerge finally. I'll play a little bit of this.
Good morning. Today's markup covers a wide range of bipartisan priorities. Leveling the playing field for smaller financial institutions, improving housing, modernizing crowdfunding exemptions, and continuing our work to bring clarity to the digital asset ecosystem.
There you go, folks. They're saying that Genius Act may happen here shortly. Digital commercial paper, a fixed income asset secured by U.S. Treasuries and rated Prime 1 by Moody's, is now live on the XRP ledger. Here's Ripple X talking about it. Digital commercial paper is now live on XRP ledger, administered by Guggenheim Treasury Services, one of the largest independent commercial paper platform managers in the world, and powered by Zeconomy. With $280 million in issuance, DCP is the first native digital commercial paper on the XRP ledger, bringing a fixed income asset secured by U.S. Treasuries and rated Prime 1 by Moody's. There you have it, folks. I'm going to finish here. Smoke keeps churning out the fire, no pun intended. XRP and XLM are the most important pre-mined coins. Third, crypto assets can be pre-mined. All existing units of assets have been issued at once. Ripple and XRP and Stellar Lumens or XLM are the most important pre-mined coins, but most of the tokens operating on top of existing blockchains are pre-mined as well. We've been trying to tell you this for 7 years on this channel. It's XRP and XLM. It always was. It's not a coincidence they moved together. It's just not. Okay. We're going to go into DAIXRP.com, the Patreon. If you'd rather join through YouTube, click the join button below any of my YouTube videos. We're going to talk about Apex and what's going on, and we're going to talk about the coming airdrop to XRP holders that could be the biggest airdrop in the history of crypto. I'm a digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. Away we go.